A brutal dog attack has left a 59-year-old man dead in Albany, New York, and the details surrounding the ongoing investigation are extremely disturbing. Before completely diving into the story, let's start with a little background first. James Provost was a 59-year-old resident of Schenectady, New York, a city located approximately 20 miles northwest of Albany. The details of his personal life are still private because of this tragedy. However, his story would soon emerge, sparking a broader conversation about public safety and responsible pet ownership in the region. The place where this tragedy happened was a property on the 500 block of Central Avenue in Albany. Let's open up about it a bit more. It is a modest neighborhood that would become the center of attention because of the unusual circumstances surrounding the presence of 24 dogs on the premises. The property had been investigated for drug-related activities before and had many mixed-breed pit bulls, which made people wonder about how these animals were being cared for. On Wednesday, October 10th, 2024, in a quiet evening, as the autumn sun began to set over Albany, no one could have predicted the tragedy that was about to happen. Around 6 p.m., what started as an ordinary evening would become a nightmare that would haunt the people for years to come. The tragedy started with James. Provost found himself in the backyard of a home on the 500 block of the Central Avenue property, which was miles away from his Schenectady home, and the reasons are still unclear. What happened next would be described by witnesses as nothing short of horrific. The peaceful evening was suddenly shattered by the sound of desperate cries for help and aggressive barking. Nearby residents heard Provost's terrified shouts as he faced a deadly encounter with 8 to 9 mixed-breed pit bulls. The pack of dogs surrounded him, and witnesses later described the scene as brutal and vicious. Those who heard his cries for help would always remember those moments, knowing that even though help arrived quickly, it was too late for James Provost. Officers from the Albany Police Department arrived with remarkable speed, arriving at the scene within 3 to 4 minutes when the calls reached them. What they encountered was a scene that was so disturbing that even experienced law enforcement officers found it disturbing. 8 to 9 dogs were actively attacking Provost, leaving the responding officers with no choice but to take immediate action. The scene was described as horrific by Albany Police Chief Eric Hawkins. Along with other police officers, he witnessed the brutality of the assault. One of the officers discharged his weapon, shot, and killed one of the attacking dogs, while the others scattered. Ultimately, Provost was left with fatal wounds. When the gunshot scared away the remaining dogs, there was a brief chance to help. However, even with the quick response and decisive action, it was too late for James Provost. He was pronounced dead at the scene after suffering multiple wounds from the brutal attack. After Albany Police Chief Eric Hawkins shared the investigation and dealt with many questions that needed answers. The first thing that was shocking was the large number of dogs at the property, 24 mixed-breed pit bulls, including 15 puppies that were just 5 to 8 weeks old. The investigation also revealed that there were several troubling details about the property and the dogs' living conditions. The owner of the dogs lived in Cohoes, about 15 minutes from Albany. Chief Hawkins said the dogs were kept in conditions that were not like a traditional family atmosphere. Of the 9 adult dogs, only 4 had been licensed before, but those licenses had expired in March 2024. More questions started to arise when investigators came to find out that the property had been a part of a drug-related search warrant in May of the same year, during which several dogs had been confiscated. However, police shared that they had received no previous complaints specifically regarding the dogs at the address, which did nothing but add another layer of complexity to the investigation. One of the most frustrating parts of this incident was the presence of such a large number of dogs in the house, especially in a modest section of Albany, where neighbors never reported significant concerns. The owner of the dogs, who does not live on the property, might face legal consequences depending on the investigation's outcome. Authorities are working with prosecutors, and criminal charges could be possible. Chief Hawkins confirmed that there were no previous complaints about the dogs, but they had been temporarily taken during a search in May because of suspected drug activity in the house. It seems the dogs were not the main focus of that investigation. This incident has raised questions about whether there should have been stricter checks, considering that 24 dogs were kept in conditions not usually found in a family environment. The presence of unlicensed dogs at the home adds to the legal issues. While some of the dogs had expired licenses, none of the puppies, aged 5 to 8 weeks, were registered as local laws require. The fate of the surviving dogs is now up to a judge, who will decide if they should be rehomed or euthanized. The news of James Provost's death deeply affected the communities of Albany and Schenectady. The brutal nature of the attack and the circumstances around it started some strong discussions about the responsibilities of pet ownership and the need for stricter regulation of dangerous animals within city limits. The tragic incident struck a chord within the Pitbull owner community. Owners of pit bulls acknowledged their responsibility and felt the need to defend the breed. They emphasized that the tragedy reflected more on the owner's practices than on the inherent nature of the dogs themselves. Libby Post, the executive director of the New York State Animal Protective Foundation, became an important figure in this debate. She conveyed an important point that shaped the idea. It is the owner. The owner trains dogs to be vicious. The owner trains a dog to be good. This thought was shared by many in the community, who aimed to stop the incident from unfairly giving the entire breed a bad reputation. Basically, she meant to convey that the dogs themselves are not to blame for the attack. She shared her point of view that it is the owner who has the responsibility for training the dogs, so they need to be well behaved. If the owner is aggressive or has bad behavior, it'll also affect the behavior of their pets. Post's perspective matches the views of many pit bull owners who believe that the overwhelming majority of their pets are loving and social animals. For these owners, the tragedy that befell James Provost is not a reflection of the breed, but rather the result of negligence on the part of the owner. This attack of that fatal dog has started a long debate about the safety and behavior of pit bulls again. It is a fact that for many years, people have argued about pit bulls, and some think they are dangerous by their nature, while others believe their bad reputation is unfair and caused by bad owners and training. However, James Provost's case has brought this issue back into the spotlight, making people ask if pit bulls are more dangerous than other dogs. After this tragic attack, many owners of pit bulls are trying to speak out to defend the breed, arguing that pit bulls are often unfairly seen as aggressive and dangerous. After this debate, Kar Shabazz, a pit bull owner, shared his story of raising his dogs to be friendly and non-aggressive. He tried to explain that his dogs have been with him since they were puppies and are a big part of his daily life, sleeping in his room and spending time together, even when he is at work. Shabazz also believes that the main problem comes from proper socialization, and the key to raising a well-behaved pit bull is proper socialization. He also shared that responsible ownership can help prevent tragedies like the one that took Provost's life. Similarly, Amelia Schramm, a resident of Albany and Pitbull owner, shared her experience of how pit bulls can be loving companions. And she mentioned one wonderful thing: how these breeds can even act as nanny dogs for young children. She also noted that pit bulls have gained a bad reputation because they are often linked to illegal activities like dogfighting and harsh training. Schramm said that she believes these dogs are naturally sweet and deserve the same love and respect that other pet dogs get. But the sad thing is that they are often mistreated and misunderstood by society. Pitbull owners also mentioned the stats that show many attacks linked with pitbull incidents are really caused by mixed breeds or dogs that have been misidentified. They also argued that laws that ban or restrict pit bulls do not effectively prevent dog attacks. Instead, they want better enforcement of laws that promote responsible dog ownership and make sure all breeds are treated with care and respect. Even with the support of many owners and advocates, the fatal tragedy of James Provost is a serious reminder of the dangerous situation that can come with owning large, powerful dogs. People who are critics of pit bull ownership argued that the breed's physical strength and determination make them more violent, and they are likely to cause serious injury or death during an attack. They also believed that even when raised in loving homes, pit bulls can be unpredictable and may pose a risk to public safety. The statistics on pit bull attacks made many people worry. Studies showed that pit bulls are involved in a large number of fatal dog attacks in the US. This made the supporters of breed-specific laws use these numbers to argue for limiting or banning pit bull ownership. They believe the risks from pit bulls are too high, and the breed should be more strictly controlled to prevent more tragedies like the one that took James Provost's life. A few days after the incident, investigators worked together to solve the mystery of why James Provost was in that backyard and how the situation escalated to such a tragic conclusion. The presence of 4 to 5 other people near the scene at the time of the attack added another layer of complexity to the investigation. Albany Police Chief Eric Hawkins and his team, after a lot of progress, shared some things. They revealed the history of the property and its connection to previous drug-related activities. The owner's purpose in keeping such a large number of dogs was suspicious to them. The expired licensing situation and violation of city regulations they found made it worse, which raised the possibility of criminal charges against the owner of the dogs. Now let's talk about the legal actions that were taken. After the incident, the surviving dogs were taken to the Mohawk-Hudson Humane Society, a society that is committed to helping local animals, where their fate would ultimately be decided by a judge. The puppies that were too young to have been licensed faced an uncertain future. The case brought us the importance of proper animal licensing and raised awareness about the enforcement of existing regulations. The police department also worked closely with prosecutors to determine appropriate charges. Chief Hawkins emphasized their commitment to bring justice for this person that was just viciously attacked. The investigation balanced various factors, including the owner's responsibility, the conditions in which the dogs were kept, and the circumstances that led to Provost's presence on the property. The story of this tragic death is more than just a shocking incident. In fact, it is a call for change in how communities should manage dangerous animal situations and pet ownership. While the debate about breed-specific laws still continued, the focus shifted from owner responsibility to the importance of proper animal care and training. The incident also highlighted different important aspects of the reality that needed attention, such as better enforcement of existing animal control regulations, improved monitoring of properties with multiple animals, more support for responsible pet ownership programs, and stronger consequences for those who do not properly care for and control their animals. Now, after the incident, the healing process of the community started while working together to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Local animal welfare organizations increased their work and started to educate the people about the responsibility of pet ownership and the importance of proper training and socialization for all dog breeds. The incident sparked important talks about several key issues. These include the responsibility of pet owners to keep the public safe, the role of proper training and socialization in stopping aggressive behavior, the importance of community awareness in reporting worrying situations, and the need to find a balance between caring for animals and keeping the public safe. The tragic death of James Provost at the hands of that pack of pit bulls has left trauma for the Albany community. It has also fueled the debate over pit bull ownership, with strong opinions on both sides. While advocates for the breed argue that pit bulls are not inherently dangerous, the other side believes that the risks associated with owning such powerful animals cannot be ignored. As the investigation continues and the community heals, his tragic story has become a lesson that teaches us the importance of changes in how we approach animal ownership and public safety. Ultimately, I can say this tragedy acts as a reminder of the importance of responsible dog ownership and the need for clear regulations to prevent future attacks. Whether by creating breed-specific laws or enforcing current rules more strictly, it is essential to take steps to protect both people and pets. As we end this report, we are reminded of the responsibility that comes with owning pets, the need for proper animal care and control, and the importance of community awareness in preventing similar tragedies. While James Provost's death is tragic, it could lead to positive changes that may save lives in the future. Remember, if you see aggressive animals or notice any worrying situations with multiple animals, contact local authorities right away. Your awareness and quick action could help stop another tragedy from happening. Thanks for watching. The tragic story of James Provost reminds us of the difficulties of dog ownership and the importance of responsibility that our pets require. It highlighted the ongoing debates about certain breeds and public safety. What are your thoughts on this heartbreaking incident? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Stay safe and take care.